Good morning, class. Today's lecture is topic is Skylight. Okay. In continuation with Northlight Trust, we have seen in last chapters that Northlight Trust is an appropriate solution for a stable, strong roof, as well as it is a good means of allowing daylight into the interior space. And we have also seen that how Northlight is oriented towards maximum natural light, towards the direction which receives maximum natural light, and how it provides a uniform uh, daylight into the space. Okay, now this is a basic concept of skylight. Today we are going to see the concept as well as the construction and some physical parameters related to the skylight. Okay, now conceptually, skylight is a fenestration. Okay, fenestration means any opening on your external enclosure of the building. Okay, now this fenestration is provided to allow natural light into the interior space. Okay, let's see the presentation. Okay, now first let us understand what is lighting. Okay, lighting within the indoor environment can be considered to have three basic purposes. Okay, purpose क्या होता है lighting का? One is obviously the safety and clear vision that is required to move inside the space. Okay, if you move or go to a very dark and some space which does not have any window openings or any fenestration, you feel very uncomfortable. Okay, so psychological effect is also there. Okay, and physically you cannot really perform any activity or do any task like reading or doing any your daily works in the dark. Okay, you need light to move safely, to perform any works, to perform any task, and also allowing light into your space also make it look pleasant, right? So a perfect and desired lighting is very important. Okay, here I'm talking about all kind of lighting. Lighting could be natural in daytime, and lighting could be artificial as well. So natural and artificial lighting combinedly, today we see in our houses, combinedly we use it, right? In daytime, if you have ample windows, ample fenestration and openings which allow the daylight, you don't need any artificial lighting in daytime, right? Whereas as the sun sets, you rely more on artificial lighting. ठीक है, so जब डे टाइम में हमारे पास नेचुरल लाइट अवेलेबल है, तो दिस इज अ वेरी अप्रोप्रिएट एंड सस्टेनेबल डिसीजन कि उस लाइट को हम ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इंटीरियर स्पेसेस में कैसे यूज़ करें. ठीक है, इट्स अ फ्री सोर्स ऑफ लाइट, राइट? अगर किसी जगह पे आपको डे टाइम में भी आर्टिफिशियल लाइटिंग और एनर्जी यूज करनी पड़ रही है, then it is a wastage of precious energy, right? So in order that energy efficiency is also one perspective in allowing natural light into the space. Okay, so lighting that we use is natural as well as artificial. Okay, now when we say skylight, ठीक है, skylight जब construct होता है fenestration पे, it's a opening in fenestration, right? So जब हम fenestration में opening की बात करते हैं या skylight की बात करते हैं, so here we are talking about allowing daylight, natural daylight into the space. Okay, now let us see conceptually what is definition of skylight. It is a light transmitting fenestration. Okay, the element of filling building envelope openings. Okay. So if you have any opening in the building, okay, that is covered or is filled with certain material which is permeable to light. Okay, it can be of any form, shape, proportion, or composition. And the sole purpose of providing a skylight is to connect or to open up the path of natural sunlight or natural daylight into the dark interior spaces. Now you'll say कि windows भी होते हैं, right? They solve the same purpose. So we will comparatively see how lighting into interior spaces and is done through the means of windows versus the lighting of interior spaces done through the skylight. Okay, so this comparison will give you a clear idea about how these two openings or fenestration can be compared and applied into any built form. Okay. So yes, we have seen use of skylight in history as well. This is a picture of Pantheon, which shows you an opening, which was called as oculus. Okay? The central core of the dome is kept open. Okay? तो वो ओपनिंग डायरेक्ट सनलाइट लेता है, जो सोलर रेडिएशंस होते हैं, डायरेक्ट रेडिएशन होते हैं, वो इनटेक करता है एंड इट फॉर्म्स अ बीम सॉर्ट ऑफ इन द डे. ठीक है, एंड दिस एज द सन मूव्स, this beam also moves in the space, creating a dramatic pattern. So this is a historical marvel that we have seen and studied for its unique style of lighting in the indoor space. Okay. Now, in ancient Roman architecture, this was called as oculus. Okay. Now, concept is same as a skylight. Today we call it a skylight, the technical term for it. Okay. Now, as yes, this is not covered with any glazing. Glazing मतलब कोई glass या acrylic sheet या कोई permeable material वहाँ नहीं है. This is just an open puncture in the dome. Okay. So it is also called as rain hole because it also allows rain and winds to enter into. Okay. Okay. Now, this is a glazed, that is closed skylight, have been used since the Industrial Revolution. जब से ग्लास और स्टील एबंडेंस में मिलने लगा है और उसके वेरियस टाइप्स और प्रोफाइल्स आने लग गए हैं, तब से हम यूज कर रहे हैं स्काईलाइट्स में ग्लासेस. इसका एक बहुत ही अच्छा एग्जांपल होगा एफएल राइट का जो गुगनहाइम म्यूजियम है, that has a central huge skylight, and it's a gallery, so it provides a very profound and very clear daylight inside the space. Okay, and it also takes care the membrane or the glass or the sheets that are placed on that skylight. They allow or they suit to the required intensity of light that should be desirable for an exhibition space. Okay, so just to look for some examples in the history as well. The skylights are used as a space enhancers as well. We will see how. Okay. Now, why to use this skylights? Okay, it can be used for color enhancement and high illumination. It adds life and variability to dull space. Okay. It adds high quality and dependable illumination for indoor spaces, and also saves the energy. Okay. Now, as I said earlier, we will try to compare window versus skylight. ठीक है? Now skylight हम जब कहते हैं तो ये हम sloping या flat roofs पे एक opening देते हैं जो covered होता है किसी membrane से. Membrane का मतलब glass हो सकता है, acrylic sheets मिलते हैं या काफी और transparent material होते हैं जो आप skylight को cover करने के लिए use कर सकते हैं. So that we can take the daylight, but we can prevent that opening from rain and wind and dust. Okay. Now, जैसे मैंने कहा पहले that these just a second. हाँ. Okay. So these skylights also allow or enhance the performance of indoor space. ठीक है. So कुछ studies यहाँ पर mention किए गए हैं. तो it is a comparison between a space, a retail store having a skylight and a retail store without having a skylight. Okay, so retail store with a unit skylight is experiencing 40% more sales than those do not have skylight. Okay, So this is study is very interestingly put forth the importance and effect of Skylight as a space enhancer. Okay. So one chain achieved 40% higher sales with unit skylights. Okay, and another chain of retail stores received up to 6% higher sales in those stores with unit skylights. Okay. So this is the effect we can see that अगर ये space comfortable है, lit है, वहाँ का experience enhance किया है आपने, लोगों का जो यूजर एक्सपीरियंस है वो एनहांस करना है आपको, अपने स्काईलाइट्स दिए हैं, सो इट श्योरली हैज अ drives people to visit that place. And when you visit a retail store, if you have a comfortable experience in a retail store, you tend to shop more, right? Resulting into the raised profit margin of those retail stores. Okay? Similarly, the next example is students' performance. Okay, the spaces having daylight, direct daylight or indirect daylight in the space, those students having such classrooms are performing better. Okay, and the resources is given at the base. So student performance or work performance also is shown in figures that student progress 21% faster in classroom with daylight compared to those without daylight. Okay, enclosed band rooms में उतना अच्छा रिजल्ट नहीं आया है. ठीक है, so this is a very interesting study that shows impact of skylights on your user experience or user performance. Okay, now these are some photographs that shows you the side lighting as well as top lighting. These openings allow maximum amount of daylight, ensuring that there are no additional artificial lighting is required. Okay, so these are the basic strategies to allow the daylight. Most commonly used are windows, okay, which is a side lighting. Now see, these diagrams are showing the light inlets. Light inlets matlab openings या fenestration in building enclosure. Okay, and it is showing the patterns of light, daylight illumination from window versus unit skylight. Why I'm saying unit skylight? Because these skylights are uh, placed at a staggered in a staggered formation, as well as it has a set dimension. Okay, and are arrayed or placed in a grid in the slab. Okay, in a roof slab. So unit skylights, एक unit है और उसे multiple rows और columns में place किया गया है. So unit skylight versus window. So you see the first image. It shows the window with blinds. ठीक है, नॉर्मल विंडो जिसे हम कर्टन्स या ब्लाइंड से कवर करते हैं, या और इट हैज ओपनेबल शटर्स, राइट? सो अ विंडो प्लेस्ड ऑन अ वॉल. ठीक है, इट जहाँ पे विंडो स्टार्ट होती है या जहाँ पे वो वॉल होती है जिसपे विंडो है, वहां पे आपको मैक्सिमम डे लाइट मिलेगा. और जैसे जैसे आप उस वॉल से दूर जाते जाओगे, okay, you move to the farthest corner of the room, you will experience that it is darker. Okay, so एक ये gradual एक gradient form होता है light का. Okay, similarly if you see a clear story with light shelf and blinds, you will experience the similar effect that जिस wall पे windows है, clear story windows है, वहां से farthest corner या farthest wall तक आप जाएंगे तो एक gradient form होता है कि जिस वॉल पे विंडो है या क्लियर स्टोरी विंडो है, वहां पे इंटेंसिटी बहुत ज्यादा होगी और फारदेस्ट कॉर्नर पे बहुत कम होगी. ओके, सो यूनिफॉर्मिटी नहीं रहती है. नाउ यू सी द थर्ड इमेज. इन दिस skylight is shown, unit skylights are shown placed at a various level in a grid, okay, forming a pattern in the roof. Now here you will see there is no gradient form, but uniformity is achieved in the light intensity. आप रूम में देखेंगे तो काफी यूनिफॉर्म लाइट डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो रहा है पूरे स्पेस में. इसका मतलब क्या है कि डार्क कॉर्नर्स नहीं फॉर्म होंगे. सो इट इज मोर skylights give you more flexibility to play with the light. ठीक है, सो जहाँ पे पूरी फ्लोर पे आपको क्लियर लाइटिंग चाहिए है, यूनिफॉर्म लाइटिंग चाहिए है, तो skylights can be used. Okay, Daylight form window is limited. Okay, it doesn't go to the farthest corner. Clear story can increase the penetration, but non-uniformity in illumination. Okay, so uniformness यहाँ पे नहीं है, जो कि हमने थर्ड डायग्राम में यूनिफॉर्म लाइट इंटेंसिटी एक्सपीरियंस कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. नाउ डायग्रामेटिकली इसे हम ऐसे पुट कर सकते हैं कि एक्स एक्सिस पे आप एक एक्सिस पे आप इल्यूमिनेंस चार्ट करेंगे, दूसरे एक्सिस पे आप डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम द एक्सटीरियर वॉल ये मेजर करेंगे. एंड इफ यू ट्राई टू प्लॉट अ ग्राफ इट लुक्स समथिंग लाइक दिस. So let us try to analyze through this graph how your interior illuminance or illumination is done or is performing when you have different type of light inlets to the space. So first line we'll try to see is the red line, which shows window with or without blinds. Okay. So this red line starts from 0, okay, and it sharply goes up, okay, and then gradually it diminishes, right? So ये effect क्या होगा कि जैसे वो लेफ्ट साइड में स्टार्ट होता है रेड लाइन, okay, it has a very high intensity, it has a very high illuminance causing glare. Many a times this light causes glare which is not advisable for detailed task like reading or miniature working, or if you are doing some intricate work, glare is not advisable. ठीक है. So ये विंडो के पास glare create करेगा. ठीक है. And then it goes on diminishing as you go farther from the exterior wall. ठीक है. Causing a darker corner at the farthest end. ठीक है. Similarly विंडो और विंडो प्लस क्लियर स्टोरी अगर आप देते हैं तो ग्राफ कुछ ऐसा आता है जो ब्लू लाइन में इंडिकेट किया गया है. ठीक है. अगेन इट कॉजेज ग्लेयर एंड स्लोली इट गोज ऑन डिमिनिशिंग. इंटेंसिटी लाइट की बहुत ज्यादा है. ठीक है. काफी डिस्टेंस तक भी हो जा रहा है, बट it is not staying within the comfortable limit to human eyes. Okay. Somewhere it is very high, not somewhere, near the exterior wall it is very high, and as you go further it diminishes. So windows and clear story windows both are giving us some of the other similarities in its provision of illuminance. Okay. Whereas when you say कि splayed या arrayed skylight है, यूनिट स्काईलाइट आपने प्रोवाइड किए हैं, तो देखिए 50 to 100 इतना ही luminance वो दिखा रहा है, which is well within the comfortable limits. Okay, here we are talking about the comfort of illuminance, जो आपकी आंखों को comfortable डिग्री होता है लाइट का, उस लिमिट में वो रहता है. So you can perform maximum of your task, maximum of your daily task in the uniform lighting. Okay, so this is the effect, or this is a comparative analysis against a window and skylight.